Burberry Hero Parfum. I'm late to the game on this one, but I gotta say it's better late than never. I smelled all of the Burberrys, okay? And I really took my time with them and wanted to find the right one. Because to be honest, I liked all of them. I would say the intense version, I kind of overlooked that. It wasn't really my thing. The elixir was nice, but just kind of dull, because it took a darker approach to that cedar. This was like right down in that sweet spot for me because it has the right amount of sweetness, playfulness, freshness, and then it has the right amount of like masculine depth to the fragrance, which really makes it a versatile year-round fragrance. I think this fragrance is really going to shine in temperatures between like 50 and just under 90 degrees. Anything over that, I think it's going to be too much, and it's not going to perform well. Anything underneath that, under 50 degrees is going to be, it's not going to perform well either. I think the cold weather is going to be a no-go for this one. I would say it worked better in the heat than it would in the cold. That's just the vibe that it gives me. So you really pick up on the cedar on this one, and when I say you pick up on the cedar, it's like, to me, it's like 4K, right? I can see each individual cedar tree in my head when I'm sniffing this fragrance. And it has a nice, smooth, sweet edge to it that really rounds out the cedar and just makes it like effortless. It's like, the guy or the person or gal who's really good at what they do and everything they do is effortless, but it's not. That's really what this fragrance is doing to me when I smell it. The pine notes in there, the pine needle smell, it never just is overbearing. It's very subtle, and it just adds like a nice green touch to those woods, giving it also a fresh aspect. So I like that. I really enjoy that. I believe that this is, if I had to compare it to something that it reminds me of, because of the, either people love it or they hate it, when it comes to this line, it really reminds me of like Terre de Hermes, because Terre de Hermes was a lot like that back in the day. Either people loved it or they hated it. I think this is the modern version. It's a safer version, right? Because back then, if we're comparing Terre de Hermes to this, when it comes to like being safe, that's like Wild West, okay? This is a lot safer than that, but for some reason, people are just completely put off by it. But it's going to be a perfect office scent, professional, business casual. You could dress it up too if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend wearing it for a date night. I would choose something a little bit easier going, a little bit more playful, a little bit more inviting. However, this is very cozy. It is very nice on its own. I would just go with something a little different. But yeah, I was late to the game on this one, but I'm glad that I found the perfect one, which Burberry Hero Parfum is the perfect one for me. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I'll be happy to answer. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to cover with this one. A lot of people had issues with the opening, okay? And I can understand that because it is very bright. But I strongly suggest never judging a fragrance by its opening. Because if you like a fragrance for its opening, you're going to find that you wish that the mid was like the opening. Or if a fragrance you find is off-putting in the opening, only to find out later because somebody else has the fragrance and you smell it on them and you're like, what are you wearing? And you're like, oh, I hated that, but I love it now. It's because of that mid dry down. That's where it really lives. So take that for what you will. These perfumers and designer brands, they're made to pull you in within the first sniff. Okay, that's how they get you to buy it. If you don't buy it within the first sniff in the first few minutes, you're never going to buy it. So that's where they dedicate a lot of the time and effort into. It's like a marketing, marketing, not scheme, but like it's good marketing, right? If they don't get your attention within the first sniff, then they lost a customer. And this one is one of those where it's very bright. It's very, I wouldn't say harsh, but people have classified it as harsh. And it's cost them some customers, but for me, I love it. And the dry down is worth it. But yeah, if you have any questions, comment down below. Thank you.